And we are live from Hammond, Indiana at Purdue Northwest's Dowling Park as the Southland Vikings play host to the Lake County Corn Dogs. Andrew Mile with Kevin Malater and Noel Ferry as always. And for the first time in a long time, the Corn Dogs have not been here in 2 weeks, as we just did the math as we walked into the ballpark today. Last time we played here was back on June 13th on that day of that very nasty tornado that rolled in.
Yeah, long time no see for the Southland Vikings at home against Lake County. And it's funny, we've gotten through 7 matchups this far, and the home team has won every single matchup. So Southland Vikings are very confident about their chances in this ball game because of the fact that they're undefeated against Lake County at home this year.
Yeah, these two teams have played 7 games against each other, and the home team has won every game. So even though the Corn Dogs are up 1 game in the series, the team that has been the home team will have the advantage going into this matchup. And as the Corn Dogs step up to the plate, we'll give you the starting lineup, which is presented by Purdue Federal Credit Union, proud partner of the Corn Dogs. Leading off, playing third base is Cal Curiel. On deck is Jake Ferry. Tyler Schultz returns to the lineup, batting third. Batting cleanup with 5 home runs is Doug Loden. Roman Kuntz bats fifth. Danny Pablovo bats sixth at the designated hitter spot. And then Matulik, Johnston, and Small round out the lineup for Justin Heisman. As the first pitch from Colin Amsden is in there, first strike to start today's ball game. We start at 5:10, so a little bit late. But there is Northern League baseball to be played today. The 0-1 pitch is down in the dirt, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And Kevin, what can you tell us about Colin Amsden?
Well, Amsden's just trying to get back to where he's been against the Corn Dogs. 3 solid innings of work the last time these two teams played.
Swing and a miss, 1-2.
On June 8th, but so far no record, 2.57 earned average. The key for him is just going to be minimizing the walks. 4 walks and only 2 strikeouts this season. So if he's able to limit the walks, he feels really confident about his chances today.
Here's the pitch, and it's a chopper back to him. It's going to be backhanded by Taylor. He throws over the first, and he gets Cal Curiel by a step. He was able to catch it and throw it on the run, and Amsden starts his day with a ground out up the middle. 1 down, and Jake Ferry is up to the plate. Ferry is up to 2 home runs on the year, and the Corn Dogs have yet to hit a home run at this ballpark. And Ferry clobbers one in the right field. Doherty's going back, and he just looks up, and it is gone. Let's go on a cow-high joyride. Jake Ferry hits his 3rd home run, and the Corn Dogs start the scoring today.
And that's a mistake right there by Colin Amsden. He pretty much threw a fastball right down the middle, and Ferry makes him pay. That's only the 2nd home run that the Vikings have had at this ballpark, and both of them, they've been on the receiving ends of opposition home runs. They've got to hit one at this ballpark. That was a no-doubter. The first one they ever gave up was against Joliet. Barely got out in left field. That one was a shot, Andrew.
I've never seen more perfect timing than that, Andrew. Wow. That's honestly incredible.
Yeah, the broadcaster jinx is actually paying off as Tyler Schultz has a screamer down the left field line past the Vikings dugout, 0-1. Ask and you shall receive, I guess, from Jake Ferry. Mentioned the Corn Dogs haven't hit a home run here yet. Usually their offense has been stifled by the Vikings pitching, and their fielding's usually spectacular at this field, but I guess you can't field the ball that goes over the wall like that. Here's the pitch, and a nice changeup. Gets Schultz out ahead of it. It's 0-2 now to the Corn Dogs 3-hitter. The Corn Dogs jump out to a 1-0 lead after a Jake Ferry no-doubter and his 3rd home run of the year. Amsden set, here he comes. That's upstairs, 1-2, a waste pitch there from Amsden, who came in with a 2.57 ERA, no record yet. He's pitched 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, all earned, 4 walks, and the 2 strikeouts. Here's the pitch, and Schultz takes one inside, and the count will even out at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, for Amsden, it's now trying to find a response after giving up that home run, giving up the early momentum to Lake County. If he's able to settle in here nicely, he's giving his team a real shot to be in this ballgame still.
And ball 3 to Schultz, another fastball stayed up. And these are the top 2 teams in the league right now. Corn Dogs at number 1, and the Vikings have just been surging these last couple of weeks. They were on a 4-game winning streak and just continue to win games. I believe they won 7 of their last 10.
You are correct. And
this one is hit to deep left field. McKenna is going back. He's at the track. He jumps. He can't make the grab. And one hops the wall. Tyler Schultz will stroll into second base for a stand-up double. And it looks like the wind that's blowing straight out the left today kept that ball going. And McKenna never camped underneath it. He kept going back and stopping. And finally he jumped up, and Schultz gets the double after Jake Ferry's home run. So the Corn Dogs been hitting the ball hard to start today's game.
This is exactly what Coach Justin Heisman has been calling for from this team for quite some time. As yesterday in a press conference he said, it's great to get the runs later on, but it's much later on, and there's so much pressure on them later down the line. They want to score early.
Especially when you're playing a really good team like the Vikings. Doug Loden clobbers one in the right. At this fair, it's gone, and this is long gone! Another cow-high joyride for Doug Loden, his 6th, and he's 1 away from tying the Northern League record of 7. Home run, double, home run, and the Corn Dogs have built a 3-0 lead.
wow.
I'm a little speechless right now. I'm not exactly quite sure what to say about that.
It's hard to get one out here. It's 330 down the right field line, and those have been 2 no-doubters. Wind blowing straight out to all parts of the ballpark. And wow, the Corn Dogs have come to play here in the Northern League. Probably the game of the night tonight as well.
Yeah, I would say if you had like an ESPN Sunday Night Baseball telecast, it would be this game. Again, number 1 versus number 2. Corn Dogs have yet to win in this ballpark against the Vikings, as the Vikings have always looked really comfortable at home. And you even said it in an earlier broadcast. When they're at home, they're a different animal.
And they all believe that. They believe that they play better when they're in this ballpark because teams are uncomfortable with the dimensions and how far everything is away.
Oh, hello. Foul ball to our left, 1 and 2.
Hopefully this tent protects us.
Hopefully the tent has no holes in it. From what I see, there is none, so it should be okay. The count is 1 and 2 to Roman Kuntz. Pitch, and Kuntz hits one in the left field, and it will drop down onto the turf for an opposite field single. And the Corn Dogs pick up yet another hit. That is their 4th in a row in this inning.
Yeah, a triple away from the cycle here to start off the game.
This has not been the start that I think Colin Amsden wants. He's given up a lot of hard contact, even though that ball dropped in left field. That was a hard hit ball by Kuntz, and now the Vikings are in trouble here.
Good thing there's plenty of baseball to go. Poplava hits a chopper to the left side. It's going to be a tough play for Amsden. Tries to barehand it, but Poplava will leg it out for an infield single. And the Corn Dogs have runners on first and second now, and that is their 5th straight hit now. Hayden Matulik will now come up, and he plays at PNW. He is sporting his PNW helmet, so he's familiar with this field and the dimensions here, as you mentioned. And he's been playing a good right field, and he hit really well when he was here. He had 325 for the PNW Pride. Here's the pitch from Amsden, and Matulik hits one to the right, and it will be in the ballpark, but no one can make a play on it. It's 0-1. Vikings and Corn Dogs just got started, and it's been a loud start for the Corn Dogs. 5 straight hits with 2 home runs, a double, and then back-to-back singles. Amsden's out of the stretch. He fires, and he misses one out. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike to Matulik.
Yeah, in all the home runs that I've seen hit so far in the Northern League, I think that one by Loden was the easiest no-doubter I have ever seen. I mean, that was Nick Doherty and Wright didn't even move.
It's upstairs. 2 balls and a strike to Matulik.
On Friday night, Logan Anderson, who's playing first day for the Vikings, almost hit one, absolutely crushed the ball at Oil City deep down the left field line. It just went foul at the last possible second. Otherwise, it was probably the furthest home run I saw up until that Loden shot we just saw.
Amsden just buzzed the tower of Matulik, and it's a 3-ball, 1 strike count with 1 out and 2 runners on base. But you know what they say, if you're going to go down, might as well go down early so you have plenty of time to make the comeback. And we'll put it past this really good Southland Vikings team. There's a reason why they are number 2 in the league. Matulik swings at the 3-1 and fouls it straight back as he just missed it. It is now a full count to the Corn Dogs 7-hitter.
Well, you have to wonder if the mound is making a difference today.
Yeah, that mound was interesting to look at. I think that's a good way to put it, and put it kindly.
Yeah.
It felt like another planet out there. I mean, pitchers view that as their sanctuary. I mean, there was a crater.
Matulik has a hard liner into left. It drops down in front of McKenna. McKenna plays on a hop beautifully, and the Corn Dogs have loaded up the bases. That is now 6 straight hits for Lake County.
We're hearing a little bit of frustration, but not in a bad way from the dugout as Roman Kuntz had the stop sign put up over at third.
Yeah, for good reason.
Yeah.
That ball was tattooed in the left, and McKenna, who's got a good arm, he's playing the corner outfield, got that ball in immediately. And before Roman Kuntz really even got a chance to even think about going, Nick Fies already had the baseball. But the Corn Dogs have had a good approach early in the game. See if they can keep it going here and give Ryan Troxel a good cushion. Johnson lifts one in the left. This one's playable for McKenna. He backtracks. He opens the hips. He makes the catch. He's going to fire it in. It'll be cut off by the shortstop, Sefcik. And Roman Kuntz tags up and scores. Corn Dogs are now up 4-0. So even the outs have been beneficial for the Corn Dogs. That's the first out since Cal Coryell's ground out to start today's game. So no official out bat there from Johnston as he hit it hard and allowed Roman Kuntz to score. And Colin Small will be the last Corn Dogs hitter to bat in this inning, considering if he gets on base. What I mean by that is that every Corn Dogs hitter in the lineup has gotten a chance to bat now with Colin Small. As one of the players yells for Colin Small to go yard, I don't know if Colin Small's ever went yah-yah in his life, as some player call it. 1-1, a foul straight back. Gavin Terry actually hit a home run earlier this year, and we talked to his dad. He said that was the first home run Gavin Terry has ever hit in his career.
Wow.
Through Little League to high school, college, anything.
Wow.
And it was a home run against the American Giants in Chicago with the wind blowing out to right field. And it's only
that short
270.
porch,
Yeah. So he hit it just over that fence. Here's the pitch. And Colin Small takes one upstairs. Count has moved to 2 balls and a strike with 2 outs and runners on first and second. Corn Dogs have jumped out to a 4-0 lead. Andrew Mild, Kevin Malater, and no failure on the broadcast. Hit straight back. Catcher going back, and he makes the play for the third out. Corn Dogs do some damage, though, as they score 4 runs on 6 hits, no errors. They leave 2 men on base. We go to the bottom of the first with the Corn Dogs up 4-0. And we are back for the bottom of the first after the Corn Dogs scored 4 runs on 6 hits and no Vikings errors. And the Doug Loden and Jake Ferry home runs were powered by the University of Chicago Medicine, the exclusive medical provider for the Lake County Corn Dogs. And Ryan Troxel is on the mound. Let's go through the defensive alignment for the Corn Dogs, and we'll go through the Southland Vikings starting lineup for today. In the outfield from left to right, Roman Kuntz, Jake Ferry, and Hayden Matulik. On the infield, Cal Correal, Tyler Schultz, Colin Small, and Doug Loden. Nicholas Johnston is behind the plate. Troxel delivers, one low for ball one. And the Vikings starting lineup is Kyle Fenner, A.J. Taylor, Chris McDivitt, Zach McKenna batting cleanup. Luke Sefcik will bat fifth. The delivery, and it's a foul ball straight back over the head of all the fans as the ball almost came back and got one. As there is some netting behind the original netting that's attached to the field. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Kyle Fenner. Troxel lifts and fires, and he drops in a slider for strike 2. Logan Anderson bats 6, and then rounding up the lineup is Nick Doherty, Nick Fies, and Blaze Cano, as the Vikings are known for their abundance of Nicks. So when I've been told, and not the socks, but the name. And Fenner goes reaching for a changeup. Johnston has to throw down the first, and he successfully throws it to Doug Loden. And the Corn Dogs start their day on defense with a strikeout from Troxel. And Noel, what can you tell us about Ryan Troxel?
Well, I say it a lot whenever he comes in and for relief or just to start off a game. He's a guy who's really technical. He's not going to kill you with the velocity, but he's got a lot of different pitches. Obviously, we saw there the slider, the curve, and speed kills, but not necessarily for Troxel. He's the type of guy who has a lot of knowledge about the game.
Swing and a miss from Taylor, 0-1. And Kevin, after the top of the first the Vikings just have, what do they need to do to cut into this Corn Dogs lead?
Well, something that they've done so well on this 3-game win streak that they've been on has just been trying to get the lineup to the next guy, being very patient and just driving in the single, don't be the hero. They don't like playing the hero card. They just like being good team players when they're at the plate. And that's what they've done so far for his first 3 games. You're going to have to do it today after the hole that they're already in.
Shot into left center field. Jake Ferry is moving in. He dives and he gets past them. It's going to roll to the wall. Roman Kuntz coming in from left field. Will have to throw it in. Taylor is going to third, and he'll get a stand-up triple. So Taylor hit the ball hard. Jake Ferry left his feet, couldn't bring it in, and with this being an all-turf field, that baseball kept rolling, and it rolled to the warning track. Kuntz had to come all the way from left field to throw it in, but at that point, Taylor was still rounding second and heading for third. He never hesitated, and the Vikings could cut into this lead early if they can at least put this ball in play against Troxel.
Yeah, that's a big piece of hitting there by A.J. Taylor, driving that fastball that Troxel gave him. Troxel's been so solid this season, you have to take advantage of any mistake he makes. That was definitely a mistake there by Ryan. A nice job by A.J. to make him pay for it.
Here's the pitch. It's an infield pop-up that's drifting into left field. Roman Kuntz coming in. He makes the catch and throws it in, and Johnstone will catch it. And that's a smart move by the Vikings there, not to send Taylor. The ball wasn't hit too far enough. And then you have Zach McKenna coming up, who's one of the more reliable hitters on the team this season, given an opportunity to drive in a run.
Yeah, and if that ball is hit slightly deeper, you have to think that A.J. Taylor's getting the green light to go there. But you just don't want to risk running into that third down on the base paths when you have a guy with McKenna who's been so effective as of late, has been driving in runs to all different parts of the park.
296 average with 7 RBIs, and he takes one for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes with 2 outs, and a runner standing on third base in the home half of the first at Dowling Park in Hammond, Indiana. McKenna lifts one in the left field. Coming in is Roman Kuntz. Kuntz dives, and he makes the play! He leaves his feet, goes into a sliding position, and assures that the Vikings stay off the board at least for 1 inning. We'll go to the second inning with the Corn Dogs up 4-0. You're watching Northern League Baseball on YouTube. We're through one inning. Corn Dogs up 1-0. We're here to tell you about Athletico Physical Therapy, who's a proud partner of Lake County Corn Dogs. We treat you, not just your injury. Visit athletico.com. Slow roller back to Amsden, who will just underhand it to Anderson. And 1 pitch and 1 out to start the second inning. Correal is 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts up the middle. And that will send up Jake Ferry. And for Athletico, you can visit athletico.com to book your appointment today. That's athletico.com. Jake Ferry's up after he hit a home run just an inning ago. A home run over the right field wall. Here's the pitch. And it almost gets Ferry. It's a little bit too tight. He backed out of the way. It goes to the backstop. 1 ball and no strikes to start this at-bat with 1 out. And there's a foul ball from Ferry. Count is 1-1.
Yeah, that's a good response there by Amsden after the rough inning, getting that first down that second inning after such a long inning when you face the first 9 batters and give up 4 runs is crucial to your success moving forward. And I think it's a good response that he was able to get that first out so quickly.
Well, the fun part about today, too, is today's the last day of June. So, guys, congratulations. We made it through the part of the season.
Yeah.
Corn Dogs played, supposed to play 25-30. I think got down to maybe 22-30. And I know the Vikings also had a busy schedule during June, and July is right around the corner. Pitch to Ferry. Ferry swings through a changeup. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ferry.
Today marks 21-30 for the Southland.
21-30. Wow. July could not come sooner enough for some of us.
There's a lot of Viking players out there who are looking forward to the abundance of off days the month of July brings for the team after such a long and brutal month. But I will say, though, credit to the Vikings for how long of a month this has been. The fact that they were able to come away with a winning record this month, no matter what happens, today's contest is not easy to do whatsoever. And I'm sure the Corn Dogs feel the same way.
There was a payoff pitch that was fouled off, so we'll do 3-2 with 1 out. Yeah, we definitely have been traveling a lot and going through this weather. I know you, without having a booth, has have to brave the conditions. Payoff pitch. Ferry hits a screamer into center. Going back is Fenner. Fenner jumps, and he robs Jake Ferry of extra bases. An incredible grab from Fenner, who is patrolling center field tonight. And it's safe to say he patrolled that one extremely well.
Yeah, I think the wind is really playing a factor today.
Is.
Not in terms of just, carrying the ball out far, but just making it really unpredictable and moving it in the air so much to the point where these outfielders are having to make play after play.
Yeah, you look at the outfielders right now. You can see how far back they're playing from our angle. First pitch strike to Schultz, 0-1. As it's anything to hit in the air tonight, it's going to carry a good ways. Already seen a few home runs, and Schultz's double, McKenna really never got underneath it. Schultz swings through a fastball, 0-2 with 2 outs. And after allowing 4 runs on 6 hits the inning before, Amsden is 1 strike away from having a 1-2-3 inning. And I think that's the definition of a bounce-back inning if you're going to call anything.
For sure, yeah.
0-2 from Amsden. Schultz takes it for ball 1.
We always talk about the players and the Iron Men of the league and everything, but I think those titles should be handed to the broadcasters too, because we're there every game as well.
Schultz hits a line shot to Sefcik, who fields on a hop, spins, and throws. And somehow, some way, Logan Anderson was able to toe drag, swag that baseball into his glove, and secure the out. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Amsden and the Vikings. Close the book on the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second, with the Corn Dogs still up 4-0. You're watching Northern League Baseball on YouTube. An inning and a half has come and gone, and the Southland Vikings will come up in the bottom of the second inning, down 4 runs. But again, it's only the second inning. Plenty of time the Mountain to come back, and these two teams are top of the standings. So it's an important game, especially when you're getting into July. There's not too many games, and we're at the halfway point, and both teams really want that regular season title. Pitch from Troxel to start the inning, and Sefcik takes it for a strike, 0-1.
Especially when now this year they changed the postseason format, so the home team gets to host the playoff games they're playing in now. So you're trying to make sure you have home field advantage throughout.
That one misses just off the plate, 1-1.
But I think also, if you're both sides, you're just hoping even though it'd be disappointing to not get home field advantage throughout, just get top 2 so you can at least host that winner go home semifinal game. I think that's huge.
Hanging slider was clobbered in the left. Roman Kuntz was positioned perfectly. So all you have to do is drift to his right and haul it in. And it's a loud first out from Sefcik and the Vikings.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw any more home runs today, just with how far all these balls are carrying. It's really something. As that ball wasn't hit, too hard, and it went all the way back almost to the warning track.
Go ahead.
The wind feels nice, though.
It does feel nice.
Yeah, I'm very happy about it.
Somehow we've been able to bungee this tent into position where it hasn't done anything. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Anderson is up now, and he takes the first pitch for a ball. So 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the second, 4-0. And looking at scores, Joliet and Crestwood started. It's 1-0 at Marion Catholic, and the Giants and Oilmen play at 7:10 at Oil City. Strike on the inside corner, 1-1.
I'll also say, though, the battle at the top of who's going to be won between Southland and Lake County is going to be fun. But the battle for the 4th seed, because in my opinion, there are 3 teams in this league who could easily find themselves sitting at 4 going into mid-August.
Yeah, it's going to be a very close battle between the Oilmen, the Panthers, and the Generals up to this point. I know there's more than halfway of the season to go, and baseball you've seen collapses, you've seen teams surge at the right time, and usually for baseball, it usually comes down to which team gets hot at the right time, and it really could be anyone up to this point. Pitch from Troxel. It is low. 2-2 now to Anderson. And, yeah, I mean, I don't want to sound like that person, but the American Giants are at 6, and really it's going to come down to those 3 teams that we listed, and the Vikings and the Oilmen are close at 2 and 3.
Vikings are hoping that this week they gave themselves enough momentum to hopefully pull away. They're a game ahead, but yeah, going back to your point about the Giants, though, 11.5 back of first going into the month of July, 4.5 back of the 4th seed right now. It's going to be a lot to overcome because you have to win, but those teams also have to lose.
Exactly. And how many times they're not going to get to play Crestwood too many more times. Shallow infield pop-up to Tyler Schultz, who goes into a back trot, and he secures the baseball for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down for Troxel in this inning as he tries to respond to Amsden 1-2-3 inning with his own 1-2-3 inning. And Julian Crestwood, that's a big game tonight too. This is, of course, a big game, and the Chicago American Giants are going to be in Oil City, and if you're the Corn Dogs or the Vikings, you really want to win this game because there's a good chance the Oilmen may come up with a win at home against that squad.
For sure.
Here's the pitch. It fouled straight back from Nick Doherty, 0-1.
And if you're looking for that perspective, this game probably means more to the Vikings because the Vikings lost and an Oilman win. They're tied once again in the standings. Granted, the Vikings get to play the Giants tomorrow, and the Oilmen have to host Lake County. But from that perspective, this is a very important game for Southland because you're trying to pull away from the Oilmen as much as possible, considering how many times the Oilmen get to play the Giants at home over the course of the next month.
And there's a strike, 1-2. And for the Vikings, they looked pretty good against the Oilmen this season. They were 3-0 against them.
3-1 now.
3-1. That's still a good record.
Yeah, it's a winning record against a tough team.
There's a shot to the left side. It'll get on through between Curry Allen and Schultz. And Roman Kuntz will have to pick it up off the turf. And there's the second hit for the Vikings from Doherty as he laced that one on the ground. And Nick Fies will now get the bat after that 2-out knock in the left. So 3-1 against the Oilmen is really good news, especially if that's a team that the Vikings may play in the playoffs. Again, this is if the season were to end today. If this was the final game, that's how it would shape out. So anything can happen. So I'm not going to put anything as official or confirm or promise anything. Fies takes a strike to start the at-bat, 0-1. But winning those games early gives you the confidence going later on in the season, especially when you've won some games at Oil City. And that one's a little low, 1-1.
And Tuesday night's win was just as important because a lot of these Vikings players were on the team last year when they had multiple heartbreaking losses on the road at Oil City. So just overcoming those demons alone was something that's not easy to do, and they were able to do it Tuesday night and win it in relatively easy fashion.
Yeah, especially as for the Corn Dogs, I looked at the schedule ahead of time and saw how important this week was going to be. The pitch is fouled off to the right. 2 balls and 2 strikes, so I have to be quick now. 5 games from Monday to Friday against the Panthers twice, the Generals, and then, of course, the Vikings and the Oilmen to close out the week, the 2 and 3 teams. Troxel delivers, and he induces the swing and a miss and strikes out 5s to end the inning. So I'll conclude that thought in the top of the third as the Corn Dogs come up the bat, up 4-0. And you're watching Northern League Baseball on YouTube. Top of the third, we lead off with Doug Loden. And Robin Salziger, without properties, is a proud partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. Whether you're purchasing a new home or selling the one you currently own, Robin specializes in obtaining the best price in Northwest Indiana. Call her today at 312-671-0034. That is 312-671-0034. Amson set the pitch. Loden takes a breaking ball for a strike. 0-1 that starts Loden at bat. And you might have heard me, or maybe I blasted your speakers when I said it, but Loden hit his 6th home run and 4 within the last week, I believe. And 0-1 pitch, and Loden swings through a good fastball in the inside corner, 0-2. The record is 7, and I can confirm that. I texted the walking statistician, Brandon Vickery, of what the record was since he's been in the league longer, and if I thought if anyone was going to know, it was going to be him. He said it was 7, and Loden's now at 6, so 1 more, and he joins that list. The pitch, Loden hits a screamer to the right. Kevin Terry, who's the first base coach for now, had to hold his breath for a moment as that baseball has rolled all the way down into the warning track just by the foul pole. Just to give you an idea on how hard Doug Loden hits the baseball when he makes contact.
And I will also say that I'm confident that Loden's able to get 2.
Loden hits one into right field, going back, and this one is gone! He has tied the record! Doug Loden goes on his 2nd cow-high joyride and ties the record at 7. This is his 2nd 2-home-run game. 1 more, and he's all his. This is incredible. I have never seen a streak like this.
I was just about to say I'm confident he can get 2 before the end of the season. I think he could maybe get it by the end of the day today. Another one where Doherty, the right fielder, just did not move. And that's the furthest ball I've seen hit out of this ballpark for sure. 375 to right center. He cleared that by a mile, too.
Here comes Roman Kuntz, who tries to jump on the board himself. Corn Dogs are now up 5-0. And that home run is powered by University of Chicago Medicine, exclusive medical provider of the Corn Dogs, as Doug Loden has been using, I don't know what he's been using. He's been a different animal the last couple of weeks. He's been using his strength and knowledge of the game of baseball to clobber these baseballs. And now he's 1 home run away from the record in a season. Kuntz clobbers one into left center field. Fenner's going back, and he's looking up, but it hits the wall. And Roman Kuntz will round first and head into the second base when there's nobody standing. And Kuntz picks up an opposite field double.
It really is just just coming together now for the Corn Dogs. And there aren't too many games where you can enter in and just automatically see what the pitcher is throwing. It just doesn't really happen that often. It's a lot to ask of these guys. But now at this point in the season, they've seen Amsden before, at least a little bit. But I don't think that that's really what's going on here today. I think that it's all just kind of coming together.
Here's a pitch to Poplava. Poplava skies one behind home plate, and it goes out of play. And it's 0-1. From what I saw, it looked like it was a hanging slider, a little bit of a cement mixer from Amsden, and that's what Doug hit hard and put it over the wall. Poplava takes a strike, 0-2 now. And because of his power and the way this wind is going, anything hitting the air has got a good chance of going, and that was probably a 400-foot bomb from Loden.
That's definitely, we thought the first one was the hardest we've seen. I think that might be even further, just based off where that went.
Poplava strikes out. That is the first strikeout from Amsden in this appearance, and that's the first out in the third inning. And, of course, I walked into the broadcast, and the first thing I say is, hey, the Corn Dogs have yet to hit a home run here. They've already hit 3.
The Vikings haven't hit one yet either.
It would be the perfect day to do it, though.
It would be.
It would be a perfect day to do it.
Wind blowing out like normal.
And it's a hot day.
Yeah, exactly.
Ball gets past the catcher, McDivitt to the backstop, and Roman Kuntz will go up to third on the pass ball. Corn Dogs have a runner standing on third base. He's just 90 feet away from making this a 6-0 game for Hayden Matulik, who singled in his last at-bat. As the hits from Loden and Kuntz put Corn Dogs at hits already through two and third innings. I don't know what for today, maybe additions and Corn Dogs been swinging the bats hot today. Matulik fouls one off. One ball and one strike.
Well, when it comes to Corn Dogs home runs, usually they act like lions and come in groups. You know, we're here at the Pride Field, traveling packs.
Dinosaurs, they travel in herds. I need the Jurassic Park theme song now. Foul ball to the netting, straight back, and 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Anyone seen the new movie yet?
I had not seen the new movie yet. I heard it was good, though.
There's a new movie?
We just talked about the busy schedule, Kevin. You think I had time to go to the movies and watch Jurassic World?
I didn't know what you guys did. We had the extra off day last Saturday because of the rain out.
I slept.
Point.
That's what I did.
I did too, so that's a fair point.
Here's the pitch, and strike 3. It was a swing and a miss from Matulik. It went for the good-looking changeup from Amsden that served as a fastball and dropped off the table. And back-to-back Ks for Amsden after allowing the home run and the double. And he's now gotten himself 2 outs. And that will send up Nicholas Johnston, and that's why it's a little bit of delay. He had to get the shin guards off. And we had a little bit of fun with Johnston yesterday. And what we mean by that is that we had him say some of his favorite Australian slang words. And we're going to ask you one of them, Gavin, and see if you can get it.
Oh, boy.
What is a dag? We'll ask you that one. That's one of the words that he used. Johnstone hits one to the left, 0-1, as it was foul.
Like, in no context, just sort of straight up.
Yeah, what's a dag? Like, when an Australian says dag, what do they mean? What are they talking about?
Like a shot?
No. It means a funny person. A person that kind of gets things stirring, kind of gets himself into trouble.
Oh, so
Johnstone
a
swings and misses, 0-2. A
Okay.
pot stirrer. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly how he described it. Exactly how he described it. He described it in various ways. One of them, can't say on air, I'd get in trouble from my owner, Ralph Flores. So I'll keep it PG in this broadcast. And no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on third, 5-0 Corn Dogs. And the pitch. Johnstone hits a chopper to the right side. Blaze Cano waits on it, and he will flip it over the third to get the third out. Corn Dogs score a run from Doug Loden's 7th home run on the season and his 2nd in the game as the Corn Dogs take a 5-0 lead going into the bottom of the third. You're watching Northern League Baseball on the Northern League YouTube page. Welcome back to the Vikings side of the third inning. Andrew Mild, Kevin Malater, and Noel Ferry. We're going to tell you about Backcourt Bar and Beverage Services, as they can handle every type of event from venues to weddings to indoor and outdoor parties. Visit bcbarcatering.com and let us start planning the perfect event for you. That's bcbarcatering.com. The Colonial Life is a proud partner of Lake County Corn Dogs. Keep on expecting. Life is anything but expected, including our approach to employee benefits. Visit coloniallife.com to learn more today. Do you think maybe we can get Backcourt Bar and Beverage Services to start planning our visits to Dowling Park?
I hope so. I need more of those chicken sandwiches.
That's what I'm saying. Pitch to Cano. Cano pops it up on the infield. Johnson's going back. He might have himself a play, and he makes the play right in front of us. And one pitch and one out as the Australian makes a phenomenal play. And the Corn Dogs start the bottom of the third with an out.
Any more words there to describe what a great catch that was?
Well, I have to ask him.
Yeah, you might have to ask him.
He did some hard yakka right there. That is
some hard work.
Some hard work. Some hard work
Yakka
from Johnston. Hard yakka is hard work. You see it in the video. Make sure to send it to you when our videographer Josh Brunette finishes it up.
Yes.
Should be done by this weekend, he said.
Well,
we can only hope.
That one kind of scared me a bit because I wasn't sure if it was actually going to come down on the inside the netting here, and that might have taken out the poor camera.
The poor camera would have eaten a baseball.
That camera's already taken a fall due to 20-mile-per-hour winds. It can't withstand anything.
Ground ball to the left. Tyler Schultz plays it on a hop. He throws the first, and Doug Loden's there to receive it. And there's 2 up and 2 down. Kevin, do the Vikings come back to Legacy Fields at all this season?
One more time. It happens to be the final day of the regular season.
Oh, wow. So we can't take you to the Backcourt Bar and Beverage Services. I tell you, Noel, Josh, and our owner Ralph Flores all had chicken. They loved it. I had the burger. It was phenomenal.
Okay.
So maybe when you go back to Valpo, you can join us in Crown Point.
Yes.
And this one is clobbered in the left center field. Ferry's going back. He's at the track, and he makes the grab. Brian Troxel gives a shrug to his catcher Johnston as A.J. Taylor gave that one a ride but left it just short by a couple of feet. And as we go to the fourth, the Corn Dogs lead it 5-0. And when we come back, Noel Ferry will be on the call as I will take a nice break. Corn Dogs up 5-0, and you're watching Northern League Baseball on the Northern League YouTube page.
Welcome back to Hammond, Indiana, here at Dowling Park. And here's a quick reminder that Crown Antique Mall is a proud partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. We offer a unique mix of antiques and collectibles. Visit crownantiquemall.net to view a list of our upcoming market dates. And we've got a new pitcher on the mound here. Every pitching change is brought to you by IBEW Local 697, proud partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. Kevin, what can you tell us about him?
This is left-handed pitcher Tom Devine, and he's just trying to get something going in a positive note. This will be his 5th appearance so far through his first 4. 0-2 record with an earned average of 29.45. only 3 2/3 innings of work. Corn Dogs saw him one time. It was on June the 7th. He started that contest. Didn't go his plan. 4 runs, all of them earned. 3 walks, which also featured 2 wild pitches. Only won an inning in that game. That was the game which the Corn Dogs ended up throwing that combined no-hitter, 13-0 game. So Tom's just looking to try to bounce back and have a positive note for once and leave the game on a high note.
Well, he faces a Corn Dogs team that today have shown that they're red hot, apparently, as Colin Small takes one up top for strike 1. Small 0 for 1 on the day. And for Small, his story throughout the entire season is here's the 0-1. As it's right there. There's a bunt down the first base line that just goes foul. That was one where the infield almost comes over and blows on it for it to get a foul ball. Have you seen that play, Kevin, in the MLB where
Yes.
I don't remember what teams it was, but they blew on the ball so it went foul on the third base line.
I think it actually featured the old Montreal Expos, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I think it was Expos, because Tommy Lasorda was, or not Tommy Lasorda. That was another time between the Phillies. The Phillies were involved in a lot of great drama.
Comes the 0-2. That one's up top.
Because I also remember that Tommy Lasorda beat up the Philly Fanatic because he had that doll of him that like he was dragging around. But yeah, no, I believe it was the Expos and the Phillies at the old ballpark there in Philly before they tore it down to build Lincoln Financial Field for the Eagles and then Citizens Bank Park for the Phils.
Work smarter, not harder. That one's way up top, 2-2.
It's genius, though. It's
No,
a
it really
genius
is. It's one of those things where that'll end up on the highest IQ plays in sports compilations on YouTube. See a couple of those with football, too, on the onside kicks and stuff like that. 2-2. It's down too low.
Every time I think about the high IQ plays in the onside kick, I can only think about the play with Pat McAfee where he kicked it to himself.
Yes, because they were back in
Yes.
coverage. Yeah, that one, that's also risky because you've got like 5 guys running at you who are going to jump on top of you, and you're a punter.
Yeah, I was going to take an inning off, but you guys have made the conversation too fun for me to ignore.
And there's the payoff pitch. It's down too low, and they start off with a leadoff walk.
No, you were talking about the Phillies, and if I remember correctly, they were playing a game against the Reds in the 80s, and it was a ball hit to right field, and I believe it was Tom Browning of the Reds that was having a hard time fielding the baseball, right? So he got so frustrated with it, he kicked it with his left foot, and it was actually a perfect kick to the second baseman and kept the winning run from scoring from third base.
Yeah.
First pitch to Curiel. Back up at the top of the order now. Small taking a sizable lead. That one's up top again. Ball one, it's looking like Devine is just not getting the break that he wants on these balls.
One of my favorite moments I've ever seen at a baseball game was in Boston for the only game I've ever seen at Fenway. They were playing the then Cleveland Indians, now Guardians, and Oliver Perez came in relief.
1-0. That one's inside and up top.
And we have these nosebleed seats up the third base line. Can't really see much. And we're wondering why the game has been delayed because Perez wasn't warming up. It was a beautiful day. There was no rain in sight. And that was the game where Perez had taken off his shoes because the cleats didn't fit properly. So he was just standing there barefooted on the mound.
Right, yeah.
Big pause. 2-0 to Curiel. Is inside and down low. 3-0 now.
So
and Devine's got to find the strike zone.
So I'm just want to asking you guys, has you ever had like any of those funky situations happen to you where people were like, oh, I remember that happening. And you're like, yeah, I was there when it happened.
I have 2. I was at the Cubs-Sox game, which happened to be Chris Sale's first start post the whole
The
Jersey
3-0
incident.
is down too low, and that's going to be another walk for the Corn Dogs. Runners on first and second.
Yeah, Devine's got to find it, like you said. But, you know, another fun left-hander story. I was at that first start post when Chris Sale didn't want to wear the throwback, so he tore up all the jerseys.
Yes,
with
he
the
cut 'em.
scissors. Well, he cut him with the scissors. So let's just say, I was sitting in the bleachers with my cousin. Let's just say there was a lot of funny chirps because we were in right field in front of the White Sox bullpen. This was before they moved him underneath, but Sale was still warming up in front of us. And then the second one, I was also at the game where John Lester hit the walk-off bunt.
Oh, against Seattle.
Against
Yeah,
Seattle.
they were down, what, 5-0?
yep.
6-0. I was close.
There
Let me
was
ask.
for a good moment that I was actually there at the field for. It was the Chicago Bears taking on the Detroit Lions, and something people talk about a lot is the gorilla that ran out onto the field in the middle of the game, a man in a full gorilla suit.
Oh,
and I
that's
was actually
great.
there for that game. I watched as he juked out a couple of security guards, and honestly, he could have been on there at halfback because, I mean, the Bears didn't really have anything going for him at that position at the time. So,
yeah, our
they
running
could
back
use
is a
someone.
literal gorilla.
Yeah. First pitch to Jake Ferry's down low, and that goes past. There goes Small over to second, and Curiel to second. Colin Small advances to third. And, yeah, Devine, that's now, if I'm not mistaken, 8 balls thrown in a row. And if he's going to start getting wild and the scores are going to start tacking on, already been 1 mound visit so far, Vikings might have to reconsider.
Let me ask you this. For the Sale game, was that in late July? Was that Chapman's first?
That was Chapman's first
I was
save.
also at that game. I was at the game. I went there for my birthday.
There's a big swing and a miss by Jake Ferry. And, wow, you two
Yeah.
in the same place.
Well, it was
before
funny
you
because
even knew.
I had seen Sale pitch earlier that year against Cleveland, and he got the loss. And up to that point in the season, that loss against the Cubs was his 4th, and I had seen 2 of them. So my friend said I wasn't allowed to see him pitch anymore.
1-1 to Jake Ferry is down in the dirt.
And, of course, that offseason, that's when he got traded to Boston, so then they didn't really care if I went and watched them anymore.
Yeah.
But Boston will be in Wrigley this weekend, and I was hoping to find tickets, but I don't think there's going to be any way.
Jake Ferry looking at 2-1. Wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a swing here. And makes me eat my words as that one's popped up to the left. Underneath is Nick Fies, but it's actually going to be Luke Sefcik who comes over from short and makes the play.
And that's a big first out there for Devine. Struggling to find the strike zone. He gets Ferry to pop up at a pitch that probably wasn't a strike in the first place
Yeah.
in a hitter's count. And is able to get it now. Nice play, though, by Sefcik also to range over. Long run for him from that shortstop position, but he was able to make a fine play.
That brings up Tyler Schultz, one of the better hitters in the Northern League itself. Batting .350 on the year, 1 for 2 today. He sees one catch left side of the strike zone for strike 1.
Yeah, and the good thing about Sefcik right there is you realize with the wind, the baseball's going to hold up. It may create some funky angles from the third baseman. So it's good for him to get over there and make sure to back up Fies so Fies doesn't try and make that play on his own and get relay it back to him.
The wind is too unpredictable today as that one is chopped off to foul right. 0-2.
And you said Sefcik just joined the team before the broadcast, so that's good for them two to have that chemistry, and they're still developing it as the season goes along because when you need a big play like that, you know they can communicate and rely on each other to make that play and back each other up. And that was some of the questions for the teams as some players come back in or have some off days.
0-2. That one's down in the dirt, but a good job by McDevitt to keep that one in front of him. 1-2. And, yeah, there's almost no connection more important than that third base and
Yes,
shortstop.
saw that last
We
night.
saw it last night, yes, as Carter Sakamoto and Cal Curiel playing third and short for the first time all season, and there were a couple of misplays there as a result. 1-2 to Schultz is all the way behind him. There goes Small. He's got a lot of speed, and he scores for the Corn Dogs.
Yeah, I don't think Schultz had to think about that one too much. That's a pitch that went behind him, and that's a wild pitch, to say the least, and the Corn Dogs get a run because of it.
So that'll be 6-0 Corn Dogs here as Colin Small moved all the way from second to home without a bat being lifted. 2-2 to Schultz, and he swings and misses. Actually called foul. And, yeah, some of the Vikings players aren't happy with that. Honestly, I didn't hear any contact.
Yeah, it's hard with these headphones, and then the highway is right behind us, so you kind of hear the cars going by. And again, the headphones are on, so
Yeah,
anything
hard
that's
for
like
us to tell.
maybe it's just quiet enough, we're not going to hear it.
Yeah.
It's not like Chicago with the L train behind you, but
Yeah,
you
exactly.
can deal with this.
Oh, for sure.
2-2. And that one's hit right down the third base line, but foul.
And I told Noah I actually enjoy listening to the L train because as a Cub fan, you're used to it,
Yeah.
especially if you're sitting in center to right, because that's exactly where it is. It's right behind you, and my family usually parks underneath the L train, so we'll walk right underneath it. And I tell you, man, that will make your ears ring for a minute.
Break even. That one is clobbered by Schultz. Back goes McKenna. And that, see you never, by Tyler Schultz. A 2-run homer. And the Corn Dogs with the 4th home run of the day. Like I said, they travel in packs. Schultz makes his victory lap. And that is 8-0 Corn Dogs.
And here comes Doug Loden right after that. And Schultz looked like he got an inside fastball. He turned the hips, got the barrel on it. And once you get in the air and make some solid contact with it, the wind's going to help you. But for Schultz, I felt like that could have been a home run even without the wind because he hit that ball extremely hard.
Right off the bat, I knew it right away. That ball was going to be gone for sure. What a incredible swing there by Schultz. And Devine probably's not happy because he thought he had strike 3 to Schultz on that breaking ball in the dirt. Instead, he leaves a fastball over the heart at the plate a couple pitches later. Great job by Schultz getting the advantage on the call and making him pay.
That brings up Doug Loden, who chops one off to the right for a foul ball. There's another one. He gets a good piece of, but fouls it off to the right. 0-2 here with 2 outs. 1 out, actually.
Okay, I know I'm with the Vikings, but I'm calling it.
You're calling it.
Record right here.
I'm calling it.
The record could be set right now. Here we go.
I know.
May have your best one, Noel.
I know I'm with the Vikings.
Here we go. A Babe Ruth moment potentially for Cabin. 0-2. Outside.
I never saw in this pitch. I just said in this at bat. Kind of like very Jim DeShays like, where I'll just say in this at bat.
I'd love to see a point to right field with the bat for Doug Loden, but I don't think people really do that anymore.
I don't think anyone does. I think only Babe Ruth did it.
Yeah.
I think everyone who does that gets just
1-2 to Loden, and he's just underneath that. He fouls it straight back.
Oh,
right next to us.
Here's a trivia question before Doug gets back into the box. Can you guys name the pitcher that was pitching when Babe Ruth called his home run in 1932 World Series Game 4?
Absolutely not.
I'll give you a hint. Tree.
Oh, I know this too. Oh, this is going to kill me that I can't figure it out.
1-2 for Doug Loden.
Oh,
and
my
he
goodness.
Catches another piece of that one, sends it about 350 foul to the right.
That's towards our cars there, guys.
It didn't quite make it out of the grassy area just beyond the right field wall. But if he straightens that one out, number 8 will hit number 8. Yeah, I've been saving that one.
I thought for a moment I called it.
Oh, man. I mean, every swing of the bat is holding your breath here at P&W. 1-2 once again. Ooh. That one's up over the head of Loden. 2-2.
That one was close.
Yeah, just a little. I mean, I still don't think anyone in this league can compete with Chris McDevitt in terms of just getting hit. McDevitt's been hit 8 times this season, and 3 of them have been in the head.
That's not a good ratio.
No.
Schultz is up there. He never got hit in the head. He was at 9, I believe, or 8. He's just above McDevitt.
Here it comes, and that's down in the dirt. Loden doesn't have to think about that one.
I have it right here.
Here's the key, though. Loden
8.
He's at 8, okay. Loden has to hit the home run if he gets a strike.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is step 1.
Yeah.
Step 1, step 2, and step 3. Step 1, get the pitch. Step 2, make solid contact. Step 3, celebrate.
Yeah, I'm not throwing it in the strike zone to Loden for the rest of the day.
I say you just throw up the 4 at this point.
Yeah. Here comes the payoff to Loden. And that clobbers McDevitt in the head for ball 4.
McDevitt in the head? You mean he just got Doug Loden on the arm?
That made contact with Loden?
Yeah.
Well, then it hit McDevitt in the head after.
It did hit McDevitt in the head, though.
Regardless, Doug Loden
He said clobbered in the head. I go, did he just flat out miss the ball?
That's going to be all for Divine. Also, this is another reason why I don't gamble, ladies and gentlemen, because
broadcasters should never gamble, right?
Well, they should
wink,
never
wink.
gamble in general. But this is definitely why I don't gamble, because I got that completely wrong.
Oh, by the way, your answer, Charlie Root.
Oh, I knew
Charlie Root.
So with that pitching change, another one brought to you by IBEW Local 697. We'll take a quick break as he throws a couple pitches here, and we will let you know who is on the mound when we get back.
1.
Welcome back. Top of the fourth here at PNW, and the Corn Dogs now up 8-0. And that is Jack West, number 24, on the mound for the Southland Vikings. And, Kevin, what can you tell us about Jack?
Well, Jack's been constantly improving. He didn't have the greatest start to his season with the Vikings, but he's gotten better over the course of his last couple of outings.
First pitch to Roman Kuntz is one that's sent right towards Luke Sepsic over at short. He's going to try for the double play, and he gets it. So after the home run by Tyler Schultz, they regroup, recollect, and deliver the double play. We head to the bottom of the fourth, 8-0. Lake County Corn Dogs on top of the Southland Vikings.
Go.
Welcome back, 8-0 here at Dowling Park. Lake County Corn Dogs at the Southland Vikings. And here's a quick reminder that Dining Solutions at Wicker Park is the answer to your catering needs. Whether you have 50 or 400 guests, we can accommodate any type of occasion. Call us today at 219-923-3830 and let us help customize your next special event. Also, Diversified Marketing Strategies is a full-service marketing agency that specializes in all forms of media and advertising. Are you ready to start a project with DMS? Visit us at thinkdiversified.com. Also, the Great Lakes Sports Hub is the official training facility of the Lake County Corn Dogs. They are not just another dome. And finally, Horizon Bank is a proud partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. We provide online conveniences that support innovative solutions for your personal, commercial, and mortgage banking needs, as well as wealth and investment services. Visit horizonbank.com to learn more today. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where speech and debate pays off. You can talk pretty fast.
Does that mean you can be a rapper too?
Oh, I am a rapper.
I got a SoundCloud page and everything.
Not yet. Still up and coming.
Oh, I'm waiting for the mixtape to drop then. Hottest mixtape of 2022.
Troxel still on the mound, and McDevitt finds a good piece of that one. In comes Ferry underneath it, and he grabs it. So quick out, first pitch out for Chris McDevitt. And that one almost fell into a little bit of a Bermuda Triangle, but the wind kept it up in the air just long enough.
When I saw Troxel do the pointing thing, I immediately thought that he was doing an Edwin Diaz, where when you point immediately, it goes out for a second. But I think McDevitt just got underneath it enough to where that ball became a pop-up rather than a deep fly ball. Yeah. Didn't get enough into the jet stream that we've seen today.
And McKenna takes a big hack at that one.
And what I saw, too, you caught towards the end of the bat. Mm-hmm. And if you caught the meat of it, it would have been a good drive in the left. I don't know if it would have been a home run, but at least could have been extra bases to start the inning.
So now, Troxel delivers. And that one is popped straight up underneath his load in, and he grabs it. So quick 1-2, bringing up Luke Sepsic here for Troxel in the bottom of the fourth after a long top of the fourth. And Troxel's been cruising today. I mean, not necessarily collecting a lot of strikeouts, but he has been getting through these batters relatively quickly.
Well, the way I describe Ryan Troxel, when people ask me, I go, well, one, he's smart, and two, he's a lot like real estate when he pitches. He goes location, location, location with all of those pitches and makes it, for these hitters, a little bit unpredictable.
And they strike one.
I got a laugh out of Kevin, so I did my job today.
The checked swing.
He went.
He went. So that'll be strike two.
I don't think there's a question about whether he went or not.
No.
Just want to make sure you got the right call.
Yeah.
0-2. That one's chopped off behind him.
That. Make sure you get it right.
Yeah. Well, for Troxel, too, he's also developed a changeup. He learned it from one of his teammates at Indiana Tech, and he's really learned how to use it.
0-2 to Sepsic. It's just low.
And for me as a hitter, I hated a good changeup. Mm-hmm. Like, you could tell a curveball out of the hand, and you had time to react to it. A slider I didn't really see until later in the career, but always the changeup.
1-2.
That was it.
And that's called strike 3. Sefcik strikes out looking, and we head to the top of the 5th inning after a quick 1-2-3. Eight to nothing. Still the score is Ryan Troxel just collected his 3rd strikeout on the day. And here's a quick reminder that IBEW Local 697, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, is a proud partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. As one, we are limited, but as a group, we are strong. Also, Ironworkers Local 395, proud partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs, continues to forge and maintain strong partnerships with owners and contractors based on our commitment to provide excellent craftsmanship through safety, productivity, reliability, and training. Also, Ivy Tech Lake County is a proud partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. Ivy Tech, higher education that's built around you, serving all Lake County with locations in Crown Point, East Chicago, and Gary. Visit ivytech.edu/Lake County to sign up today. And finally, Kuziak Construction is a proud partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. They are your complete home improvement expert. From home remodeling, repairs, and roofing, we do it right. Contact us today at 219-923-3007. And that actually reminds me, a lot of the P&W players here for the Corn Dogs talked about how they have a house here that they live in Hammond, Indiana. And I personally live in Hammond, Indiana as well. But it just always makes me think of, I'm not sure about you guys at your colleges, but just the architecture in Bloomington for student houses is just ridiculous. They're the worst houses I've ever seen. And I think that that's a common thing for a lot of different
Someone's
students.
been holding a grudge against the Bloomington houses.
First pitch to Danny Poplava is just underneath. There's a little bit of a Bermuda triangle, and it is dropped by Taylor over there. So that'll go down as an E4, as Taylor was underneath that and had it in his glove.
That's a rare error there for AJ. He's normally pretty solid with the mitt. Doesn't make a whole lot of errors. That might just be like his second all season. He's been really solid with the mitt defensively. I think he just kind of took that out for granted, started to move his glove away from the ball, and ended up hitting him in the palm of his mitt, not the actual webbing of it.
Yeah. And it's just kind of seeming like one of those days where everything is going right for the Corn Dogs and nothing is going right for the Vikings. And that can happen. First pitch to Matulik is fouled off behind him. Nicholas Johnston comes and retrieves the ball. Matulik hit that double earlier today. Or was that I believe that was a double that it was a single that he collected some runs off of, as that one's down in the dirt. And Matulik started off his career as a Corn Dog with a hit, and then from then on went into a bit of a slump, but lately he's picked it up. And if you haven't checked out some of the tweets by Andrew Mild over on the Corn Dogs Twitter so far, you're doing yourself a disservice, as that one's down low for ball 2. And honestly, you're doing Andrew a disservice because he's putting out some of the best content around.
I don't know what's going to be more fire, my tweets or Noel Ferry's mixtape that he's going to release in a week from now, right?
Exactly. It'll all be about baseball,
Yeah,
all my songs.
We're looking for one of those.
We do rhyme a lot in the booth. There's called strike 2. Just caught inside.
Yeah, I was able to somehow incorporate my favorite type of dog on one of the tweets today. A nice corgi doing a happy dance. So that made my day.
Corgis. Okay.
That's my brother's dream dog is a corgi. So yeah.
2-2. Break even is just outside. Yeah, if I had a dream dog, I love Dalmatians, but I've heard that they're a very temperamental breed and they don't mix well with other dogs.
Unless there's 101 of them.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to do that, though.
Watch out for Corella DeVille, I guess, if you're going to get a Dalmatian.
3-2. Down low. So starting this inning off with an E4 and then a walk. It's the self-inflicted wounds. So far, at least this inning. Nicholas Johnston up to bat.
I'll say I'm a lot happier today than I was last time the Corn Dogs played here. It was last time the clouds in left field came in and they looked like trouble and they spelled out trouble. It was not a fun night.
I described it, so my dad called me because obviously we had the technical issues where we couldn't get on the air, unfortunately. So my dad called me during the 8th inning asking for an update because the city of Chicago was already under the tornado warning. And he asked me to describe the weather conditions and what the clouds looked like. And I said, well, Dad, we're underneath a black cloud of death.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe it, as Johnston takes one up on the chest and the arms, and you can hear some Australian accents coming from the dugout over there for the Corn Dogs, and that loads up the bases.
Yeah, they actually called him the Australian. I didn't come up with that. I'm only relaying the message that they called him. I asked, there was a question, we do a question of the game. It's on our YouTube page. And one of them was, if you were stuck on a desert island, which teammate would you want and why? And a lot of them just said, the Australian. And, of course, there's only one on the team and probably in the whole league.
Colin Small watches one go right down the middle for strike one.
And, you know, I think I take him from the stories he's told me that he can stay within the cold temperatures. So it doesn't feel like temperatures really bother him. From one extreme to the other, he's totally fine.
0-1 to Small with bases loaded, same thing, right down the middle, strike two.
Nasty sliders from Jack West.
I will say it's cool, though, like this league, because you have Johnston with the Corn Dogs, who's from Australia, and then you have the Giants who have
0-2, and there's a big cut and miss from Colin Small. So after West loads up the bases, he bounces back nicely and gets a much-needed strikeout.
Then you have the Giants who have 3 members from Puerto Rico, 1 from Venezuela, and then another one from the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
So I like the international flair here that the Northern League is starting to get by expanding.
One of my favorite stories I have involving baseball, I made a trip to the Dominican Republic when I was in middle school. Bases loaded for Cal Curial. He sees another slider go right down the middle for strike one. And West had been living there these past couple pitches. And a lot of the local people in the markets and whatnot would ask where we're from, because obviously we looked like tourists. Everybody knows that we were tourists. That was inside for ball one. And when we would say Chicago, they would say, oh, Chicago Cubs, Sammy Sosa and Starling Castro.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And so we would be referred to those two names, Sammy Sosa and Starling Castro, regularly, as obviously baseball is very popular in the Dominican Republic. 1-1 to Cal Curial. He makes good contact, sends that one down the gap. That'll score one. Paplava, here comes Matulik, and Small is over at third. Corn Dogs add on 2 more, make it 2-0 in this inning. 10-0 overall.
Yeah, good approach from Curial. He hit it through the right side. Taylor gave it a good attempt. Just needed his arms to be a little bit longer, and Curial gets the RBI single and advanced on the throw and picked up 2 RBIs in the process. So that's good for the Corn Dogs, as now they're in line to end this early.
Jake Ferry now up with runners on second and third. He sees one go just outside for ball one. Yeah, and it just seems like everything's working out for the Corn Dogs today. The hits are coming when they need. They're seeing the ball perfectly from all the pitchers that the Vikings have thrown at them. So that one's up top, ball 2.
And that was the 10th hit for the Corn Dogs. And when they put the hits together, it's always good news. And it's something that the Corn Dogs have been looking for, is getting hits with runners in scoring position, and they've been able to do that today.
2-0 to Ferry is up top, 3-0. So West is looking at potentially loading up these bases once again. If I'm Jake Ferry, and I said this earlier about him, I might sit on this one, but we'll see the approach he goes for here. He would look to grab some insurance runs onto this 10-0 lead, and that is inside for ball 4. And here comes Johnston, and he is safe, as West is unable to corral the ball there. The throw over from McDevitt was in time, and Johnston was almost thrown out, but West was just unable to keep it in his glove.
Yeah, there's a little bit of delayed takeoff from Johnston, and he thought about it for a while. And usually, if you hesitate at first, you then want to stay. But for Johnston, it was able to work out because I think he caught Jack West off guard because he didn't go right off the bat as soon as the ball got away from McDevitt, and that's what led to him dropping the baseball and hurrying the throw.
And that brings up Tyler Schultz, who watches another slider go right down the middle.
Yeah, I like that story about Sosa. I'd have to say he was easily one of the biggest ball players that influenced me to fall in love with the game. As I was born in '99, so only a year after his '98 home run race.
0-1, same thing, right down the middle.
I'm probably saying this to you guys, and you're like, "Oh my God, like he's old," but yeah, I remember that. And when I played MVP baseball 05, Sosa was the guy to go to. He'd hit bombs every time you used him because there was a cheat on the Xbox. You hold up the left stick, and you usually can influence them to hit it in the air.
Mine was, if you guys both recall.
0-2 to Schultz is clobbered into left, and that's going to drop. Here comes Curiel. He'll jog in, but Ferry's heading over to third as Schultz grabs a double and sends in one more for the Corn Dogs, making it 12-0 here at P&W Field.
Well, it's a guy who did a lot in his career in terms of showing off his power. The guy for me, like Sosa was for Andrew, mine was, if you remember him, Kosuke Fukudome.
Oh, I have a good story about him. I have family from the Pennsylvania-Ohio border in West Hermitage, and they're all Pirates fans. My grandma Lisa is a huge Pirates fan. We always talk about them. Usually it's her ranting.
First pitch to Loden is up top, and Loden's
for good reason.
At bat with runners at second and third. He's still perfect on the day, and he doesn't really need it.
Calling it here again.
But it would be something special.
I'm calling it again, Noel. Just putting that out there.
All right, Kevin. We'll see if he can really look into the crystal ball here. He's manifesting. And that one's outside off the glove of McDevitt, but Ferry holds up, and that's a good call there. Already up 12-0. No reason to go for something like that.
Yeah, I'm about as much like an old head. That's just about respect.
Exactly.
For the game, right?
Yeah. Just respect for the other team. No reason to send there to try to grab another run on a cheap play.
What I've always liked about the coaches in this league is if you do hit a double, they're gonna let you get the double. You earned it. But there's no need to go on a wild pitch.
Yeah.
2-0 to Loden is down low, and
I think that hit Loden again.
Yep. Another hit by pitch for Loden. That loads up the bases.
It really is just one of those days for the Southland Vikings. This is probably, in my time covering the team, the worst performance I've seen them play. And it's nothing they're really doing wrong. It's just great pieces of hitting by every Corn Dogs hitter who's come to bat thus far. Just a couple of mislocations from the pitchers as Rocco Masudo is going to make a change here. But it's just one of those days where, you miss a couple of spots and the wind's carrying a lot of those baseballs out of the ballpark. It's just one of those days for you, like you guys have been talking about. But it's unfortunate to see that because this was going to be a really fun matchup coming in. And
it would.
Having it be 12-0 here in the fifth, I don't think anyone expected that.
No. And there'll be another pitching change, it looks like here. It's number 18 for the Southland Vikings. Takes the mound. That is Zach Costello. And with that, another IBEW Local 697 pitching change. We will be back after a couple throws from Costello. 12-0 the score here, and that brings up Roman Kuntz to the plate with bases loaded and 1 out here. And the pitcher on the mound is Zach Costello for the Southland Vikings. First pitch to Kuntz, and he crushes that one into right, and that'll drop. So here comes Ferry, and Schultz will also cross home plate. Doug Loden is safe over at third. So first pitch to Kuntz is a single that drives in 2.
Yeah, right there is just Kuntz was wasting no time. He liked the first pitch he saw. It was a fastball down the heart of the plate, and he turned on it, hit it hard in the right field, and you had 2 more RBIs for Roman Kuntz on the season and continue this ball game and keep scoring runs.
First pitch to Paplava, and he clobbers that one, and
you don't see the ball.
Can't see the ball, and that's gone! Paplava with another home run on the day, in his first of the season. And this is preposterous Paplava, who sends one out of the park. And just wow. I'm at a loss for words.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't expect that one to go the way that it did. I thought McKenna had lost it the way that he was reacting, but that ball literally carried another 40, 50 feet and went over the wall, and it's definitely just been the Corn Dogs' day. I don't know how else you can put it.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, there's days where like a team lost a game and a team won a game. The Southland Vikings are not losing this game. The Lake County Corn Dogs are winning this ball game.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Bases cleared now, still 1 out. That brings up Hayden Matulik, who is 1 for 2 on the day. First pitch to Matulik. He watches that one go down low for ball 1.
And for the Vikings, almost kind of what they did yesterday. They won 16-6 yesterday. Had this massive 7th inning that allowed them to run roll the Giants. In the very next day, they're going to be on the receiving end of one unless something miraculously changes.
Yeah, I know that it's 10 after 7, but then isn't there another one 15 after a certain amount? I'm not sure.
That's a great question.
I might have heard that before. That one's down in the dirt to Matulik 2-0.
This would be the most lopsided game the Vikings will be in, no matter what, on the winning side or the losing side of things. I can't speak for the Corn Dogs, but
no, this is definitely the case. 2-0. That one's actually ball 4. So Matulik 4 pitches, 4 balls, and he heads over. So that'll bring up Nicholas Johnston, who, surprisingly enough, Johnston is one of the only Corn Dogs today without a hit. He did have a sac fly in the first inning and a hit by pitch. So technically he's still only 0 for 1 on the day. This is his 4th at bat, and he watches one go up top and inside for ball 1.
I'm stunned.
I am. I'm at a loss for words.
You run out of things to say. Honestly, it's obviously this is a very surprising situation, but usually, Andrew and I, we can talk a lot. But today, as that one is clobbered by Johnston, but underneath is Zach McKenna.
I'm as Noel said, I'm not one to shy away from talking for long periods of time. But I did not expect this. I was ready for another cardiac Corn Dog type game where it was down to maybe the final hitter. And last night, Corn Dogs were down 4-2 and scored 3 runs in the 7th. Carter Sakamoto was the player of the game as he delivered in the clutch, but I did not expect a football score.
Yeah.
First pitch to Colin Small. He foul tips that one.
And I was excited for it.
I was too.
I've always enjoyed the Vikings Corn Dogs battles that have gone on this season, and I thought we were going to have another one in store, but it's completely flipped the script. And just when you thought you've seen everything in baseball, it teaches you something new.
Small watches one go outside. 1-1. And with that, actually, no, haven't seen too many of the corn dogs. Actually, well, now I'm not sure exactly how many corn dogs we've seen in this inning. Goes up top.
This marks
13.
13. This is as small as the 13th guy to come to the plate.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Score update right now. Generals up on the Panthers 6-4, and then Giants and Oil won't start for another, I want to say just underneath half an hour.
This game could be done before Giants Oilman even starts at this rate.
At this rate, yes.
2-1. That's a strike called. That one does catch the outside.
Did you see that the Guardians walked off the Twins again today?
Bats back nuts.
They were down 3-1 and scored 2 in the 8th and 2 in the 9th off a home run.
There you go.
2-2. Small finds that one, but
Nice play.
Vikings able to get a good play there from Luke Sefcik over at short, and that'll end the inning. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning, but not before the Corn Dogs grab 9 in the top of the 5th.
Down Parkins, the 2022 first play ran. Tom is in for Logan Anderson. 17-0. Lake County leads at Cap later here from Old Ferry. I don't think any of us expected this whatsoever as Brand takes the 0-1 down low.
No, it's pretty hard to describe. And this is by no means a short field. I mean, I really just don't know what to say.
Lake County's had 5 homers today in a ballpark that has only seen 1 coming into this afternoon's contest. That one misses down low. 3 balls and a strike now to Tom. That one's down and away, ball 4, and it's a leadoff walk. So the Vikings have a base runner, which is what they need in this situation.
Would this be the greatest comeback of all time in the history of sports?
I think it would be.
We've seen some improbable ones, but this might take the cake.
I would agree with that for sure.
That's how you start it.
As Doherty fouls off the first offering. No balls, 1 strike. The pitch. Doherty checks it and fouls it off to the left side. singled back in the second inning, and that's all she wrote. This is the second trip to the plate for a lot of these Southland hitters. It's a complete contrast for Lake County, who's had all of their hitters come up at least 3 times. 0-2. And that one is skied into left field. Coming in is Kuntz from deep left center, and he makes the grab on the run for out number 1. That's not an easy play whatsoever with the wind.
No, definitely not. And the sun as well. I'm not exactly sure whose eyes the sun is in right now. But, yeah, we're also seeing some other changes for the Corn Dogs here. That's Donovan Nanfeld over at first now for Doug Loden. As both teams are making some adjustments.
Nick Fies, 0 for 1, takes a strike. And we've been talking about it for the past inning now. I don't think anyone expected this, as the 0-1's in for a strike, nothing in 2.
I mean, these are number 1 and number 2 team in the league. But I will say, with specifically baseball, you know, a loss like this, you got to look at it as you just put it behind you, you know, and move forward from it. You cannot let it linger on you. Baseball, you got to have a short memory.
As Fies tips that one into the mitt of Johnston for out number 2. Strikeout number 4 in the contest for Ryan Troxel. Yes, here's the first pitch to Cano. He takes that one upstairs. One ball, no strikes to the DH, and he sends that ball on shallow center field into the Bermuda Triangle. Long run for Ferry as he makes the grab, and that'll retire the side. So nothing comes on the leadoff walk. Still 17-0. We're through 5. This is Northern League Baseball on YouTube Live. Welcome back to Dowling Park. Attorney David Gladish represents clients that have cases involving personal injury, wrongful death, auto accidents, medical malpractice, and more. Visit dgladishlaw.com to learn more. And Macron's the official jersey partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. Work hard, play harder. And by Misprint, the official printing partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. We specialize in delivering the highest quality signs and printing on time and within budget. Big or small, we do it all. Visit misprintindiana.com to learn more about our services. As Zach Costello fires a ball outside to Cal Curiel, the third baseman for Lake County today, who is 1 for 3 with a walk. He had a 2 RBI single back in the 5th. They elongated inning, and that saw 13 Corn Dogs come to the plate as that one misses down low. 2-0. And gentlemen, we were talking about interesting experiences that we've seen on, fans on the field and that stuff. Well, I've got one here from my high school football game I did out in Arizona. I'll tell you about it after the 2-0 pitch. Misses away 3-0. So I was doing a high school football game back this past fall in Arizona on some freelance work, and so we got to a game. It's, a 15-0 game at that point in the fourth quarter. It's starting to get out of hand. And then during this brief stoppage before a change of drives, as Costello gets that one in for a strike to make it 3-1, there are 3 students dressed up in a gorilla, banana, and hot dog costume who sprint diagonally from one corner of the field to the opposite far side corner.
That's impressive.
The 3-1 misses down low, ball 4.
They ran all the way down?
So they ran, well, not only did they go the 110 yards from one corner to the other corner of the end zone, they went from, if you looked at it from the field, they went from the low right back pylon to the far left back pylon, and then proceeded to hop a fence as well to get out of there. Mind you, this was like a 20-point game. This is football, not baseball. As Ferry steps back up, he's homered already today. And he rockets that one to right center field. That falls in for a base hit. Holding at second will be Curiel on the long single there by Ferry. What a day he's had. He's got 2 hits and a walk. Make him 2 for 4.
Yeah, the great swing from Ferry. Just saw a cement mixer slider, turned on it, and for the Corn Dogs, that's been a lot of hits tonight. That was their 14th hit.
That's a lot of hits.
That is a lot of hits.
Probably the second most I've seen since Southland put up 20-plus hits on Crestwood a couple of weeks ago.
I must have missed that one.
First pitch now to Schultz. In for a strike. And I guess it was a lot funnier to us on air in person because this was a game where the opening kickoff was returned for an 80-plus yard touchdown.
Wow.
We saw a fumbled punt in which the punter then proceeded to punt the ball out of the back of his own end zone for a safety as Schultz sends this one down the right field line, hooking and foul by a couple of feet.
Yeah, you know what? I had that experience too. And I'll tell you exactly when it was and what I was doing. It was one of the first ever broadcasts we did on Crown Point Television, or we call it CPTV at my high school. And it was a rainy day in Chesterton, Indiana, where a lot of the Vikings players are from. And Crown Point was playing Chesterton on the road, and the Cubs were playing the playoff game. So one, I was already upset I was missing. It was game 1 where Kyle Hendricks dealt against the Nationals in 17.
Oh, yes. That one misses high, by the way, to Schultz.
And the Bulldogs up to a good lead, and it was camo night for Chesterton. So a fan in camo ran across the field, jumped over 2 chain link fences, and proceeded to run on the road that's right behind I believe that would be their north end zone, and kept running. Legend has it that guy is still running to this day.
Noel, any fun student experiences where the students ended up going on the field or something, or random people?
I'm trying to think.
That's hit hard on the ground to short. Sepsic goes to second for 1. The flip and turn by Taylor is not in time. He pulled Varan off the bag at first. So fielder's choice makes it 1st and 3rd, and that's the first out of the inning.
Oh, they're going to put Nanfeld in for Loden.
So, believe on that. Yeah, runner's safe at 1st and 3rd, so it would just be
1st and 3rd. 1 out now, and now this will be the pinch hitter, Nanfeld. Steps up for his first play appearance of the contest. He comes in for Doug Loden. What a day he had.
2 home runs and 2 hit by pitches.
First pitch misses down low to him.
He scored 3 times, had 3 RBIs, and he tied the Northern League record for homers in the season with 7 on the year. And that's been quite incredible, 2 weeks for him.
1-0, right down the middle for a strike. Nanfeld, by the way, 256, 6 RBIs, and if you're wondering whether he'll join the parade of home runs at the Corn Dogs event today, he's got 1 on the season, so there's precedent for him.
Yeah, that was a fun one to watch. That was against the American Giants.
1-1. Costello misses a breaking ball, 2 balls and a strike.
And Nanfeld's a more opposite field hitter. He likes to work the right center field gap. But he got enough air underneath it, and it was a liner. But you know that big chain link fence monster in right. He wrapped around the last pole in right center for a home run.
Oh, that's
3
incredible.
runs.
As he sends this ball to the screen on the right side. Hey, and a nice play there made by Roman Kuntz.
But you asked me if I had any interesting things. In the Purdue IU game at Assembly Hall this past year, where IU finally took the victory after 6 years. We hadn't beat Purdue in 6 years at Assembly Hall.
This is also in Bloomington, Indiana, and Anfield goes down swinging out number 2. This is also in Bloomington, Indiana, where, in your words exactly, the student housing options are absolutely terrible.
Yes,
correct?
that's also
No, he
true.
said the architecture of the student housing.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a difference, okay, Kevin?
I don't really find
I am not saying anything about the university, the Indiana University, not the dorms. I'm saying the houses in Bloomington.
Well, I know we're at P&W Field, but you could be in the basement at Purdue, West Lafayette.
that would be pretty bad.
That's not fun, from what I've seen.
Yeah, those photos were not too kind to the university on Twitter as
No.
a strike taken by Kuntz.
But so game's getting close to be over, and Rob Finney hits the shot that will define his career as an Indiana Hoosier for all of time.
In the dirt, blocked by Kroll.
And so my friends and I, we were getting ready to rush the court because that was what everybody was doing. They were going to rush the court. But we realized as soon as the game was over that we couldn't get to the court from where we were. It was just impossible. No, you had to go to the bleachers that are behind each basket to actually be able to get on the court. So I was a little disappointed with that because I wasn't able to share that moment with all the other Hoosiers. But then as I'm leaving the stadium, I reach down into my coat pocket, and I do not have my wallet.
Oh, man.
No.
Oh for 2.
So it really just took the magic of the moment and sucked it all out because I had to be on the phone with my debit card company as I'm walking back to my house. I lived pretty near the stadium, and someone's yelling in my ear with the megaphone, and I was just not in a good mood at all.
You went from really great mood to really bad mood within one realization.
Yeah, the whole mood gets soured. Next offering to Kuntz. Inside corner, just misses. I got to be a part of one court storming this season. Actually, 2. One as a fan, and then one as a journalist. So the one as a fan, Arizona State played host to UCLA in men's basketball this year. UCLA came to Tempe on a Saturday night. Number 3 ranked team in the country. Costello's next offering. Grounded foul to the right side. So back and forth game. Arizona State probably should have won the game in regulation. Blew a late lead. Goes to overtime. Arizona State down by 5. They come back and tie the game. They send it to double overtime. On and up. They go to triple overtime in this game. Finally, Arizona State pulls away minutes ago. So originally, the students start to storm the court out of the student section, as one naturally does when you're an unranked team beating the 3rd-ranked team in the country. That ball is smoked to right field from Kuntz. If it's fair, it's gone. It is foul by a foot, if that. Wow, what a shot by Kuntz. He just missed a home run. That would have been his first, and he would have joined the parade.
First in the game, but it would have been his second on the year. He hit one against the Oilmen. First home run actually in Corn Dogs history. It just got over the wall. I remember that one. Didn't get to call it. It was given to Brandon Vickery, but hey, at least you got to see one.
2 strikes to Kuntz. Up and in, and the payoff pitch misses for ball 4. They're loaded. And so originally, they did not let the students onto the floor. They didn't at ASU. They held security because the student section is one end zone, but they have the visiting team tunnel, so UCLA's tunnel is built into the student section.
Oh, okay.
So they had police presence to hold the students back so UCLA could get off the floor. That one's hammered in the left field down the line. This is going to go foul. And this would have been Poplava's second.
Would have been the first Grand Slam in Corn Dogs history.
It would have been, as he hit the home run in last inning. Eventually then, they blew a horn to symbolize that UCLA left the floor, and then they allowed the fans to storm the floor eventually. And so it was a lot of fun being a part of that moment. Here's the 0-1 in the dirt on a breaking ball, 1-1.
Was it worth the wait before they
It was worth the
hit the
wait.
horn?
But so what they didn't do, though, the other end zone, you're able to get down the corner of the other end zone. So several students went to the other end zone and came on the court that way. I was one of those students who went on the opposite end and came down. So I got on before they released the mass exodus of students. And mind you, Arizona State has 75,000 students.
Yep.
So
Wow. 75,000?
Over, I think we're closer to 75,000 based off this class.
You know what I love about Arizona State men's basketball is the distraction. What do you guys call it?
Curtain of distraction.
The curtain of distraction, yes. They had Michael Phelps the one time in his attire that he usually swim in at the Olympics.
Yeah.
And I believe he forced 2 missed free throws.
He did, yes. That one misses away. No, that's great. And then the second one, I was covering a women's basketball game as a videographer, and ASU beat ranked Arizona, which happens to be ASU's biggest rivals as well. So a lot more meaning to that game. Stormed the court as well. Thankfully, I didn't get trampled, but that was the big concern then because you're already on the floor. This is popped up on the infield. Mind you, there are 2 outs already. Taylor gives way to Sefcik, the shortstop. Drifts into shallow center to make the grab and now retire the side. We'll talk more about court stormings and the greatness that is college basketball after this break. Vikings come back to bat when you come back after this break. This is Northern League Baseball on YouTube. Welcome back. Off Square Brewing is the official brewing partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. At Off Square Brewing, we strive to be just that, off square. We think and brew outside the box. And by Plumbers, Local 210 is a proud partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. They strive to provide and maintain education of apprentices and upgrading of journeymen in the plumbing industry. And by Purdue Federal Credit Union. They are a proud partner of the Crown Point community and support organizations like the Corn Dogs. At Purdue Federal, we take pride in being your financial partner through all of life's big events. You can visit us just down the road at 113th and Broadway or always online at PurdueFed.com. Purdue Federal Credit Union, your trusted financial partner for life. Kyle Fenner will step up to the plate to lead off the home half of the 6th. He will face the new right-handed pitcher, Brock Bevel. The first pitch is cut out and missed for strike 1. And a reminder that pitching changes all season long for the Corn Dogs are brought to you by IBEW Local 697, a proud partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. The 0-1 from Bevel in there for a ball. And guys, what have you seen from Bevel this season thus far?
Bevel, when he's in the strike zone, he can be effective. But when he's wild, it's not as fun to watch. There's some innings where he's gotten himself into trouble and then can't work his way around it.
As Fenner shoves that one to left center, it falls in for a base hit in front of Ferry. So leadoff man's aboard for the second consecutive inning for Southland.
Yeah, in Bevel's previous appearance where he closed out a game against the Joliet Generals, he coined himself, we coined him the nickname Brock All Business Bevel because he was absolutely, he was dealing out there. When the breaking balls break exactly how he wants them to, he's great. I mean, he induces a lot of guys to swing, and sometimes he can blow it right past you. But then when he's looking to throw strikes, like we saw there, then it can be a different story.
Nanfield, by the way, stays in the game to play first as Taylor takes inside for a ball.
When we were talking about fans, and I started thinking about super fans, but
and Taylor sends that ball in a deep center field. Ferry has to drift to his right. He comes in a couple of steps and makes the grab for out number 1. Back to first goes Kyle Fenner.
And when I think about superfans, I immediately think of mascots. So,
one.
in your opinion, who is your favorite mascot through any professional, college, maybe even high school? Favorite mascot?
That's a tough one.
Mine's always been an easy choice. It's been Benny the Bull. He's the GOAT. Like, there's no choice. He's the greatest of all time.
Fenner runs as Kroll takes that pitch in for a ball throw down and give Kyle the stolen base. This is Kroll's first at-bat of the contest.
It's funny you should say that, Andrew, and you guys are going to find this hard to believe, but the actual Benny the Bull during the 1990s, during the Jordan era and early 2000s, I knew him.
Really?
His daughter, I did a lot of plays with her in my youth. I was close family friends with them, actually.
This is a high chopper to second, gloved by Small. He will take the out at first there. Up to third goes Fenner, but there's 2 away.
And unfortunately, he actually passed away a few years ago. And in that time, before the open wake for the public where everybody came and gave their condolences and everything, it was said that those Bulls teams came and visited, but they wanted it to make it about him and not about them, so they didn't appear with the rest of the public, which is, that's a respectable move there.
Yeah, very, very classy. So is Benny the Bull your favorite too, then, I'm guessing, Noel?
Yeah, I'd have to say Benny the Bull, especially nowadays too. He's very funny.
He's a savage.
He is. My favorite moment was after the inauguration of the president when Bernie Sanders did and then he was Bernie the Bull that day when that's when COVID was happening, so no one was in attendance, so they cut to Benny just to get people see him, and he was doing it perfectly, mittens and all.
He had that little perch there, and I want to say on the second deck as this is popped up on the infield. Coming in to make the play is Brock Bevel, the pitcher, making all POs happy there with some PFPs. And now to retire side. We'll go the 7th. It's still 17-0, Lake County. Woo! What a game. We're going the 7th. This is North Link Baseball on YouTube. Welcome back. The University of Chicago is proud to be the exclusive medical partner of your Lake County Corn Dogs. Use Chicago Medicine is a leading community of physicians, researchers, and game changers that make a difference in your life. Use Chicago Medicine at the forefront. And at the plate is Tulik, who takes the ball from new Vikings left-hander Sean Moore. And he quickly reminded that all pitching changes this season are brought to you by IWW Local 697. They are a proud partner of Lake County Corn Dogs, says. The lefty fires, misses again, 2 balls and no strikes.
We were talking about mascots, and I forgot to mention my favorite one, and I'll tell you a funny story about him, too.
What was your favorite?
Well, I have another one, okay? You'll see why.
That's up the middle and through for a base knock. Matulik gets his second hit of the day. He's on for the fourth time. 2 singles now, or 2 singles after the 2 walks he's already had.
So I have the typical mascot costume. Then I have live mascot. And I go to Butler, so Butler blew the 4th. And first day as a Butler student, just transferred there for my senior year. I was a little bit nervous, didn't really know anyone.
And one misses down low for a ball to Johnston.
And I forgot my mask in my car, and my car is parked down. So I had to walk all the way down to my car. And as soon as I passed the corner, I looked to my left, and the handler for Butler Blue had him outside. And the first thing I immediately do is I whip out my phone and I text, I just saw Butler Blue on my first day. This should be a good omen. And I started walking back, and I wasn't going to pet him. I was running late for class. I ended up making it in time, just so my parents are listening. I wasn't tardy that day.
Swing and a miss, strike 2.
But Butler Blue started yanking his handler to me, so I had to pet him at that point.
Of course.
And after that, I finished the year and had a really good time. Really had a great first year for the Butler Bulldogs.
That one's tipped. Kroll isn't able to hang on to it, so it's a foul ball. I'll say underrated mascot just in terms of appearance. There are 2. Dibs the Blue Demon from DePaul.
Right.
And this may be biased, but it's honestly not because he's really cool looking. Sparky the Sun Devil.
Sparky, I do like Sparky the Sun Devil, and I do like the name.
Mm-hmm.
That actually, Sparky reminds me. Is it what team is it?
This is lofted in the left center field. Fenner gives chase. He dives, and he can't make the play. McKenna with the smart move to back him up, though, so this will prevent a run from coming in. It'll be second and third, give a double to Johnston.
I believe it's the Denver Nuggets who have like the dog-looking thing.
Yes, and he has a lightning bolt.
Yes, he's really funny. Have you guys seen that clip of him with the different sized teddy bears?
Yes.
That's a classic. And then also I believe he dives. Oh, it was the gymnastics thing where they launched him to do a dunk.
I will say another underrated. Actually, I tell you about. I got my favorite now. I have my favorite. Small waves of that fastball, strike 1. My favorite is Puddles the Duck from Oregon.
Puddles the Duck.
Oh, that's a classic.
I didn't realize his name was Puddles, to be honest with you.
I thought he was always the Oregon Duck until I got to the conference, until I went to ASU, and they're like, no, he actually has a name, and it's Puddles.
That's incredible.
I thought it was Daffy Duck, or Donald Duck, not Daffy Duck.
The throwback logo is Donald Duck, just in
it is.
Costume.
Yeah, exactly.
Disney licensed the rights. Small takes that one high. And I'll tell you, getting to go to the Pac-12 women's basketball tournament, and Oregon was obviously there because the conference tournament, and getting to call games there, never in my life have I more been excited, as that one's tipped and fouled off of Kroll's mask. He takes a moment to catch himself. Than I was when I saw Puddles the Duck in person. Because you see all the posts on social media about the crazy things he do, getting in a little kiddie inflatable swimming pool fleet, or so one time at the national championship game. So I saw him, and the first time I saw him, he had a fishing rod in person and was just doing fishing with little yellow rubber ducks on the court with the Oregon cheerleaders.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that was my first time seeing Puddles the Duck in person, as Small cranks that one up the middle. To his left is Sepsic. What a play there, but he pulls Varan off the bat, gives Small an infield single. It's an RBI infield single, 18-0 Lake County.
And with that hit, every Corn Dogs batter has gotten a hit on their line score today. Small was the last one, and all 9. Except for Danfelt, but he wasn't in the starting lineup. But
the starters.
Starters. He might get another chance.
Runners at the corners now with 1 run already across. So, yeah, Puddles the Duck is my favorite. There you go. I have my favorite.
I have a...
That one's ripped into the mid of Sefcik. He'll go back to third to try to double off the runner. Johnston's in there safely, so hard hit ball for Curiel, but just right at a man. There's 2, and that's the first out of the inning. Excuse me.
Did you ever see the This Is SportsCenter commercial with Puddles where he's doing a report and he looks out and there's a pond and there's ducks on it and he just goes and then turns and starts doing work again?
This one's through the legs of Varan in the right field for a base hit. That'll bring in a run. I think they're going to call that a single, and it's 19-0. Who would have guessed it? They're going to call it a single. So Ferry's got his 3rd hit of the contest, and it brings in another run. That's his 2nd RBI today. That's a hard hit ball. Tough to give an error on Varan, so I understand the reasoning.
Yeah, that was the whole reason why we discussed it and went with that one.
This one's lofted in right center field off the bat of Schultz. It drops in for a base hit for extra bases. This will be run number 20 for sure. As Small comes in, now they have the guy hang up between second and third as Schultz now has to retreat back to the bag. And so they held
Jake Ferry
at third base, which is why there's the commotion there. For now, just a 1 RBI double for. And now there's people shouting all over the ballpark. I think everyone's aware of the situation. You're 20-0.
And for Tyler Schultz, I think with that hit, well, I can confirm it. With that hit, he's the first player in Corn Dogs history to have 4 hits in one game.
3 of those being doubles
and one home run.
And a home run. That's very impressive.
First pitch is taken down low by Nanfeld. Johnstone and Small, all the first 3 batters have all come in across for Lake County this inning. Only 1 out, runners on second and third. For Nanfeld, who struck out swinging back in the 6th. Came in off the bench, he takes that one down and away.
Did you ever watch those This Is Sports Center growing up?
Oh, I love those.
Oh, man.
I miss them.
Yeah, I do. I do too.
Swing and a miss, strike 1. And I've discussed trying to make our campus radio station do parody ads of those. Because I think that'd just be so much fun to do because we have just so many people in the station.
I have a good one. So we did do that one at Manchester before I transferred out Spartan Stream my sophomore year. And there's 2 of them that I did that I had a great time with.
That one's on the ground hard, and a diving backhand stop by Sepsik. He will throw back to second, and he got Schultz on the back pick there for out number 2. It'll bring in a run, so give Nanfeld, guess we give him an RBI there. RBI signal, and we'll just call it a base running gaff on Schultz. That
I can agree with that.
seems the likely thing to do there.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that a fielder's choice.
No, I wouldn't either.
Because it was a hit. It was going to be a hit. And then Sefcik just threw out Schultz. And I've always determined that for a fielder's choice, it's because they could have got the out there but went somewhere else instead. And I don't think you could have gotten.
Up the middle and through for Kuntz. The hit parade just continues for Lake County. My goodness. I will say, if you're Lake County, this is just from an outsider here, you might want to save some of these hits for tomorrow when you're on the road at the OC.
You're going back to Oil City and taking on the team that's currently 3rd. And if they win tonight, they'll be tied with the Vikings. But for the Corn Dogs today, they can at least help the Vikings tomorrow and try to pick up the win against the Oilmen.
Well, to say the least, the Corn Dogs are going to be going into tomorrow's game with a lot of momentum, and that's best case scenario, for a team like the Oilmen, especially in Oil City.
Kick in, that one's fouled off, and for the Vikings, just a matter of shaking off. They, tough to say what happens tomorrow in state's contest, but they have a game against the Giants tomorrow, who enter their game against the Oilmen with a record of 4-17-1. Vikings fans could be optimistic just based off opponent record. That one misses high to Puplavo.
Well, back to that. This is Sports Center. So I had an Astros jersey because I went to the 17 World Series with my aunt, who's from Houston. So she got the tickets. I had to cheer for the Astros before anything was known.
Before the whole.
Yes. Well, that was the year.
Well, that was the year, but that was before
2019.
It came out.
2019 is when it came out.
Yeah.
And
Puplavo works the walk on 4.
If I remember correctly, though, it actually was early 2020 before the pandemic started, and that's why the Astros never got booed in 2020. It had to wait till 2021.
Yeah, because it came out right before spring training, so obviously only limited.
I think spring training had just started, and then So anyway, I had the jersey, and I had this idea for a little skit. So what I did is I got a garbage can and a ruler, and I had my friend sit next to me who's a big Reds fan, but he knew what happened and was having a good time with it. And so what he would do is he would lean to me, and you can't see me on camera, and go, "Hey, what'd you get for number 17?" And I'd look down and look over and pull up this garbage can with the ruler and go, bang, bang. And he goes, B, and circles it. And that's wearing an Astros jersey at the time. So that was one of my favorite ones we did.
Oh,
and
that's good.
That's really good.
I had another one. where the spring training had just been canceled and the season was delayed, and I was wearing Cub stuff. And it was kind of like an office thing where they said, man, Andrew's not really handling the cancellation MLB season too well.
Chopped and fouled to left side. By the way, the bases are loaded, and Matulik becomes the 10th batter today, and second time that Lake County has brought up at least 10 men to the plate today.
And then he says, you can even look at him. They turn, and I'm like throwing my Cubs hat, kicking a tree, but people are walking. So I was like very shy about what was going on. I was not having a good time that day.
This is up and away. Always count as 2-2.
People might have thought I was psycho that day. They thought I may have actually hurt them.
So we'll say I have two favorite, one of my favorite Sports Center commercials, 3 and 2 now, was 2016. This was after they stopped doing the original series of This Is Sports Center, but they did a one-off Sports Center commercial where it was they had the wall of signs saying like, this many days since this happened. So they had one sign, that ball crushed left center field, kind of ball chase. It's up in front of the wall, down the wall, round double, 2, 22, nothing, 23 now. After the second run crosses. My goodness. What a day for Lake County Corn Dogs.
Yeah, that was number 22 for the Corn Dogs. And now almost everyone lined up an RBI except for Colin Small. But Johnstone will come up now and try to keep this inning going for the Corn Dogs. I again, lost for words. Did not expect this today.
Actually, Colin Small did pick up an RBI today.
He did.
Yeah, so that'll a 1-2
single. This is Johnston, who doubled and scored earlier in this inning. So as I was saying, the ad, it had one sign where it said it was a Cubs logo. 1-0 is skied in the short center. Sepsic and Taylor both coming out there. That ball just drops in front of all of them. RBI single for Kuntz, 24-0. Or Johnstone, excuse me, as Kuntz will advance to third. And now Colin Small steps back up. This is chaos.
That is a good word for it. 24-0, 7th inning. I just feel bad for the Vikings. It's just one of those days for them, and even Sean Moore just shrugged his shoulders. He goes, I don't know what else to do.
They're throwing. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Normally, in most Southland Vikings contests, Small pokes this one foul. Normally, in games when the Vikings lose by a lopsided amount, this is clearly that for sure, 24-0. It's normally their pitchers' inability to throw strikes that has hurt them. Their pitchers have thrown plenty of strikes.
Yes.
Just the Corn Dogs keep consistently finding holes as Small sends this one down the right field line and foul. Let's update you real quick. That's Matulik on third, Johnston on first, Small at the dish. It's 24-0 with only 2 outs in the inning. And it feels like it's only 2 outs because each out just seems insurmountable.
Look at the chaos that's this book. I don't know what else to do with it. It's I hate to say it this way, but it's starting to look like a coloring book.
It really is. 0-2. Small takes up and away.
I mean, this is a good time to start breaking out the bats because this is a good team and you're trying to get the bats going again.
Check swing. Mike Clay says no swing.
Because there was this time that the Corn Dogs were batting about 254 in the last 5 games. We weren't getting hits at the right time. But if you can close out the week 5-0 going into July, that's really good news.
Slice down the right field line. It looks and it hooks and it's foul.
Oh, so you can rhyme too.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. I know.
Can you rhyme orange?
Huh?
Can you rhyme orange?
Orange.
I can do it right now.
All right, go ahead.
I probably guess what he's about to say.
Oh no.
Hold
No.
on.
Small fights it off. Stays alive.
My favorite color is orange. I open the door using the door hinge.
There it is. That's
There
from
you
Drake and
go.
Josh. It's from Drake and Josh. I knew exactly where he was going with that. We have fun.
That's a classic. And Small, since it's one thing on a short, Sepsic pumps, froze, Taylor's there. For the Vikings, the misery that was this inning is over. Some of the guys are just kind of shaking their heads going, what is happening? I think that's what we're doing here in our kind of makeshift broadcast booth. Vikings last chance with the sticks. They need 18 to make it alive. It's 24-0. as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. This is Northern League Baseball on YouTube Live. Welcome back. Bottom of the 7th. Lake County 3 outs away from a victory. It is 24-0, and no, it is not football season. Kevin, Andrew, and Noel with you. Noel's getting ready to snap a ball. He might be ready to back up Justin Fields this year. He's going to get hit hard with the lack of offensive line. And speaking of new things in the game and new varieties, this is Dylan Matusak in the game. Another pitching change for Lake County, and all pitching changes this season are brought to you by IBEW Local 697, a proud partner of the Lake County Corn Dogs. As Luke Sefcikson, for his third at-bat of the contest, he takes that one down and away. Sefcik 0 for 2, fly out to left and struck out looking in the 4th. Kick in the 0-1-0, and that's hammered down the left field line. If it stays fair, it'll be extra bases. It is not. It's foul. Mind you, the Vikings, I misspoke, said they need 17. They only need 15 to force an 8th inning.
Only.
Only. There's the key word. 1-1 in the dirt. 2-1. And guys, got to ask you, I'm not talking about watching. I'm talking about covering baseball when you've either covered or called a game. Most lopsided score you guys have ever seen?
Yep. Yeah,
by far.
For me, calling and watching.
I think the most recent one I can think of in terms of blowout was Butler against UConn 17-3.
That's up there, and Sefcik, by the way, works the walk on that 3-1 pitch. So the Vikings have the base leadoff man aboard for the 3rd consecutive inning. Just hasn't been their night. And literally, it's nothing to their own fault, really. Just Lake County's just putting the ball in play and finding holes. Baran's up for the 2nd time, worked a walk in his first at-bat of the season. He swings and fouls that one off. I will say we were reaching MLB The Show levels. I one time beat my best friend in MLB The Show by a final score of 40-0.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many home runs?
Only
Too
two.
many.
Only 2.
How many hits did you have?
I had 40 runs on, I believe, 55 hits.
How did your friend stay through it? One of my favorite things was Madden Football 2010. If you score to, like, I hate to say it this way, but it was like past 70 points, it would say, stop, you're going to break the game.
Swing and a miss, that's strike 3, that's out number 1. You're going to break the game.
Yeah,
I played on rookie growing up, so.
I think we all did at some point. Then you eventually have to shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite moments with sports video games is when I almost beat my friend. At the final score is 58-56.
Oh, jeez. That's like all my friends' Madden scores at ASU.
Actually,
like in the upper 50s all the time.
It was NBA 2K.
Ooh,
back
okay.
in my challenge was he played with the 2015 or 2017 Bulls.
Swing and a miss.
So, that's a challenge in itself. Your leading scorer is probably going to be Denzel Valentine.
If that.
And I could only shoot with Detlef Schrempf of the Supersonics all-time team.
That's
So
a name.
I scored 56 points with Detlef Schrempf, mostly shooting three-pointers. I think only three-pointers. And I just always had the release with Schrempf.
Swing and a miss. Doherty goes down on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts for him. A 2-second. There's 2 away. My favorite moment, I guess, playing video games, that's the 40 run's not my favorite moment because eventually that's the 8th inning and he just kind of gave up. He still went through it because he didn't want to, quit. He's a big proponent of anti-rage quit. So I was playing my buddy at Madden. This is while we're at Arizona State as Fies takes that one. He goes up in Madden 36-0. Kick and the pitch swung on and missed by Fies. And I proceeded, and we into the 4th quarter. I'm down 36-0. I'm getting heckled by all my buddies because I gave up 36 points. I haven't scored. Fies takes that one. That's high for a ball. And mind you, we're pretty much proponents of none of us are very good at playing defense in the game, so all of our scores are high scores. So no one really gets shut out.
Yeah.
I proceed, as Fies fouls off, to put up, this is going to sound like I'm bragging, but I'm honestly not. This is a true story. I proceed to put up 40 consecutive points, score, and take the lead with a minute left. His final possession, he throws on 4th and 10, throws a pick 6 as Fies hits that one hard but foul. Throws a pick 6 to me, so I score to make it 47-36. Then he's like, okay, well, I'm going to try to, make a comeback because there's still 30 seconds left, and we score in bunches when we're playing against each other. Throws another pick 6.
Wow.
And I win it by a final 54-36.
54 unanswered points.
He remembers the official score of it, too, which is great.
That's my favorite moment playing video games. That's strike 3 called, and that'll do it. Well, if you were to say the final score was 24-0 Lake County, I don't think anyone would have believed you. I don't think we would have believed you either, and we cover these teams on a daily basis. But that's how this one goes. Vikings get the leadoff man aboard, but isn't able to get him across. No errors in that inning. Once again, your final score, Lake County 24, Vikings nothing. The Corn Dogs improved to 20-7. They become the first Northern League team to reach 20 wins this season. Vikings fall to 14-11-1. Currently hold second place, but that mark might change depending on the result of the Oilman Giants game. That will be just underway right now, just probably in the first inning. But that's going to do it. Guys, I'm speechless. You guys have any final words on this game?
We were speechless. Our Macron player of the game is Tyler Schultz tonight. Other than
Not
that,
Doug Loden?
We're going to go with Schultz because Schultz had 3 doubles and
that's fair.
Drove in 4 runs, and Doug's already won it 3 times, so we'll let Schultz get it here. And Schultz hit a home run. So
there you go. That's fair.
A lot of bases.
For Doug, he ties the record of most home runs.
Yeah, he can live with that.
I think the game that he breaks the record is when he'll win the player of the game award. That's fair.
Again.
All righty. Well, that's going to wrap up our coverage today. From everyone here at the Northern League, for Noel, Andrew, and myself, Kevin, we thank you so much for watching. Once again, the final score, Lake County Corn Dogs 24, Southland Vikings 0. This has been Northern League Baseball